Hello everyone, this is Dipti and you're watching me on techmyhire channel. So today I'm going to share you how to attend for HR interview and how to answer the questions that were asked by them. So before actually going to the interview, make sure you have built an effective, perfect resume. So if you have any doubts regarding how to build a resume, we have already done a video of building a resume in techmyhire channel. So we are providing the video link in the description. Just go through the link and watch the video. So after having effective resume, make sure you have gathered all the requirements that were asked by the company to attend the interview. Like some companies might ask the requirements as previous year's grade cards, 10th inter mark sheets, etc. Some companies might ask you the photocopies of address proofs. So it might vary from company to company. So make sure before going to the interview, just go through the requirements that were mentioned by the company to attend the interview and gather all the requirements and of course a resume and two photocopies along with your confidence, which was very important to crack any kind of interview. So we were picked some of the questions which were frequently asked in HR interview from majors. So let us go through each and every question in detail and how to answer them. So let's get started. So after entering into the interview panel, wish the interviewer with a pleasant smile. I repeat, with a pleasant smile. So after examining your resume, the interviewer asks you, tell me about yourself. The first and common question which have been asked in any kind of interview. Believe me guys, this is the question which decides your fate. That means the impression on you and the questions which have further been asked completely depends on how you answer this question. Here there are two cases in tell me about yourself. If the interviewer asks you by your name, like Deepti, tell me about yourself, here in this case you shouldn't start with your name because the interviewer already addressed you by your name. You can start like, so as you know, my name is Deepti, so you can go on. So in the next case, if the interviewer asks you like generally, tell me about yourself, you can start with your name. So after mentioning your name, just add one or two lines about yourself. Like I'm a person who is very passionate about my dreams and I'm a workaholic like that. So it adds a bit more impression on you. So later you can continue with your educational details, your percentage, certifications you have done, and your internships, your strengths, your hobbies. Here remember one thing guys, never mention your weaknesses in tell me about yourself. If the interviewer particularly asks you about your weakness, you can tell him, but never say any negative thing about you in your introduction. So, before going to any company's interview, just make sure you have gathered some basic details about that company. So, if you are asked this question like, what do you know about our company? You should be in a position to talk about the company for 1 or 2 minutes. So, okay. If you don't prepare anything about the company, if you don't know anything about the company, just please don't give any wrong answers. So, you'll get caught in a fraction of seconds if you give the wrong answer, so it might have some negative impact on you. I'll tell you my experience. So last year I went for Mindtree interview. So after clearing the TR interview, I went for HR interview. In the HR interview, the question I was asked by the interviewer was, what do you know about our company? So at that time I have no idea about the Mindtree company. So in doubt, I told the interviewer that, sir, maybe Mindtree is a US based company. So in this tone only I have told him. So suddenly he interrupted me and told me that no, Mindtree was not US based company, and he told me some extra details about the Mindtree company. So as I told him the negative answer, I haven't got selected for the role. So my suggestion is, please don't give any wrong answers. Better prepare some basic details about the company before going to the interview. So for this question, just highlight your skills and strengths. Tell the interviewer how passionate you are towards the job, and your work will not disappoint them at any cost. And just tell the interviewer that you'll use this opportunity to grow in your career. Be careful while answering for strengths and weaknesses, guys. Many interviewers might extend your strengths and ask questions about your strengths. For example, if you mention one of your strengths as optimistic, some interviewers might ask, give me a situation that describes your optimistic behavior. So you should prepare in this way. And as weakness is a negative thing, give them a weakness which shows positiveness. I mean, which shows some positiveness, like I'm a workaholic, or I'm so lazy that I can finish my work as soon as possible. And you can also say being too honest, and ability to take much more risks, like that. So here you have to depict that you use your weakness as an ability or as a chance to grow in your career. So this might add some positive impact on you. The question about short term goals and long term goals is just to know how important your career to is. That means how much importance you're giving to your career. Short term goal is nothing but a goal which has to be accomplished in a year or two. So here you can say to be placed in an environment which helps you to build your abilities and skills, and which enhances your working abilities, so and helps you to grow in your career. Coming to the long term goals, a long term goal is nothing but a goal which takes a lot of time and experience to accomplish. Instead of asking directly long term goals, they might also ask you where would we see you in 5 years, where would we see you in 10 years, like that. So, for this question, you can answer like, as I'll gain much more experience by then, I would become mentor to many people out there. I could guide them in a better way. Or else you can say, I would become a well rounded student, as learning is a life's process, etc. So, although you have mentioned your hobbies in your resume, the interviewer asks you about your hobbies just to make sure how well do you know about your hobby. So, hobbies plays a very important role in deciding what type of person you are. So, mention a hobby that makes some sense. If you mention like listening music, watching TV, that doesn't make any sense, right? They're just for entertainment. So, mention a hobby which makes some sense, and please don't fake it, guys, because the interviewer might ask you some questions related to hobbies. I'll give you an example. In my case, I have attended TCS digital interview. So at the time of my HR interview, the interviewer asked me, what's your favorite hobby? I mentioned her reading books. So she asked me, what's your favorite book? So I was so nervous at that time, and without having a second thought, I just blurted out One Indian Girl. So I hadn't read that book at that time. So she asked me the summary of that book. I was totally blank. So I had no idea about that book. And but within 1 minute of time, I just cooked up some story and told her. I'm fortunate. I was so fortunate enough. She hadn't read that book, so she believed whatever story I had said was true. So, the moral of my story is, please don't fake your hobby, okay? So, mention a hobby which has some sense, and make sure you have enough knowledge of that hobby. So, are you willing to travel? This is the question which was asked by the interviewer, just to know how passionate you are towards the job. Many people might say, no, I can't go to that extent. So, this is not right, guys. So, many companies will give you your preferred location. So they'll just ask you how important the job to you. So you should make the interviewer think like the job means a lot to you. You can go whatever extent it takes. And yeah, the answer to this question is yes, in order to get the job. So we can think about the location later after getting the job. Probably this might be the last question that was asked in an interview. So many people might say no for this question as an answer. So actually, it doesn't matter if you say yes or no. I mean, if you ask some questions or no, we don't have any queries. But it would be better if you ask one or two questions about the company. Like you can ask like, how would be my career growth in your company? How would be the environment in your company? How would be the working place in your company? Kind of questions. So that the interviewer might feel like you're passionate towards the job, and it shows your enthusiasm in learning new things. So it would be better if you ask one or two questions about the company to the interviewer. So apart from all these questions, the one thing which is very important to crack the interview is communication skills, guys. So better before going to the interview, take as many as mock interviews as possible, because the better you practice, the better you'll gain the confidence. So make sure you'll not get any pauses while talking to the interviewer. If you are a bit low in communication skills, just focus and pressurize more on that area. So build your confidence, believe in yourself, and no one can stop you from reaching your success. All the very best, guys. So if you have any doubts regarding HR interview, just let us know in the comment section below. If you like this video, give a big thumbs up, share it to your friends, and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to click the bell icon to get another video update from techmyhire.